A flight from Greece to Germany carrying nearly 300 people escaped disaster when the aircraft's engine caught fire midair shortly after takeoff, forcing an emergency landing in Italy.
300명 가까운 승객을 태우고 그리스를 출발해 독일로 가던 여객기가 이륙 직후 비행 상태에서 엔진에 불이 붙어 이탈리아에 비상 착륙했습니다. 이 사고로 인명 피해는 발생하지 않았습니다. All right, so we're talking about nearly 300 passengers and flight crew, right?
Yes, correct. It was a Condor Boeing 757, 273 passengers and 8 crew members were on board. It was going from Corfu, Greece to Dusseldorf, Germany. And they had to make an emergency landing because the engine caught fire because of what they were calling disruption in airflow. That triggered a chemical reaction within the engine. So, sounds terrifying for the people on board to probably look out the window, see their engine on fire, thinking, oh gosh, what's going to happen? But they avoided disaster.
Yeah, some articles say it was most likely bird strike, which does happen every now and then.
It happened in Gwangju, of course, we remember.
And one of the wings actually caught fire. So as you said, people inside the plane would have been able to see the fire.
Yeah.
And yet for about 40 minutes or so, they didn't know what was going to happen, but luckily they landed. Everyone is safe. Let's have a look at our expressions. To catch fire, 이게 바로 불타다 라는 뜻입니다. And then it happened midair.
Yeah, it means that it was in flight when it actually happened. So it wasn't when the plane was on the ground. Right. It was while the plane was flying. And we'll say things like things happening in midair, meaning that you're airborne when something happened. So maybe somebody jumped and twisted midair. So while they were in the air, they were able to do a twist as an example. So you're talking about the position that you are in.
Mid, 뭐뭐뭐 하면은 중간에 있다는 뜻이죠. 그래서 축구 포지션 중에 midfielder는 중간에 있는 포지션인가요?
Yep, correct.
그래요. 그랬을 것 같고요. 그다음에 midday라고 하면은 하루 중에 중간이라고 생각하시면 되는데 정오예요. 그래서 midday는 12, lunchtime이죠. 그다음에 mid sentence 이렇게 말하면은 문장 중간에. So I'm sorry to interrupt you mid-sentence 이런 식으로 말하면 문장 중간에 제가 끼어들어서 죄송해요. 이런 의미가 되겠죠. 여기서 mid-air, 공중에 날고 있을 때 이런 뜻이 되겠고 또 우리 학생들은 중간고사 시험 보거든요.
midterm.
midterm. 네, S 붙여가지고 midterms라고도 해요. 시험이 하나가 아니니까. 자, midterm exam, midterms 그런 거 다 mid가 들어갑니다. What about takeoff?
Takeoff is the moment that the airplane leaves the ground. So as it speeds up and then it gets airborne, then that's the moment that we call takeoff. But sometimes we'll talk about takeoff as the start of something as well. Like, oh, hey, or even you could say when I'm leaving, right? So say, hey, I'm going to take off now. So goodbye, I'm taking off. See you later.
맞아요. 명사일 때는 붙여서 takeoff 한 단어로 써요. 그리고 이제 비행기 얘기니까 이륙인데 동사로 쓸 때는 두 단어 따로따로 떼어놓고요. take off 그러면은 동사가 되었는데 지금 얘기한 것처럼 우리가 일상 대화 속에서도 나 이제 갈게 이럴 때 I'm gonna take off 이렇게 말할 수 있죠.
Sometimes we'll say something like, oh, this stock is taking off.
Oh, yeah.
So it's starting to perform well. It's going up because usually when you're taking off and from an airplane, you're going from the ground up to the air. So you could say if something's doing well, then say, oh, this is really taking off.
Yeah, it's going in an upward direction.
Yeah.
그래요. 그러니까 주가가 많이 오르기 시작하면은 the stock prices are taking off. 이렇게 표현할 수 있겠군요. 자, 네, 이륙의 반대, 착륙은 영어로 landing. 그래서 take off and landing. 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. A flight from Greece to Germany carrying nearly 300 people escaped disaster when the aircraft's engine caught fire mid-air shortly after takeoff, forcing an emergency landing in Italy. Here's our next headline.
Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates and a coalition of partners have launched a new AI competition offering a $1 million prize to a team that successfully harnesses agentic AI to develop innovative solutions for Alzheimer's disease.
마이크로소프트 공동 창립자인 빌 게이츠와 관련 단체가 인공지능을 활용해 알츠하이머병을 치료할 혁신적 해법을 찾는 AI 경진 대회를 개최합니다. 이 과업에 성공한 우승팀에게는 100만 달러의 상금이 주어집니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, so I guess Bill Gates, I believe he lost his father to Alzheimer's disease. So this is kind of a personal battle for him. And he has invested a lot of money, whether it be through his foundation or personal spending, to try to battle this disease.
Yeah.
And they are putting up a lot of money for people to come up with a way to help out dementia and Alzheimer's. And now they're even looking into the AI realm to try to battle this.
Yeah. Well, it's not just Bill Gates alone.
Yes.
He's doing this with a coalition of partners.
Yeah, in a coalition of partners, you're talking about a group of people that are sort of strategically coming together as a group of something. So we use this quite often in politics. You might use this in business as well, because you have people or companies that maybe don't regularly work together, but for a particular purpose, let's create a coalition or let's create a partnership or a group that can have a similar goal in mind.
A coalition이라는 게 어떤 단체나 모임을 말하고 partners, 그러니까 협력자들의 모임 내지는 그룹. 여기서 뭐라고 아까 해석을 했었냐면은 이제 빌 게이츠와 여러 관련 단체들이 이렇게 해석을 했고요. Now, what are they doing? They're trying to harness agentic AI. Let's have a look at harnessing first of all.
Yeah, if you're trying to harness something, then you're trying to control something that typically you don't have control over. I think we've talked about this a while ago, and I was bringing the example of a horse. Like a horse will have like a harness of sorts to control it, because horses are wild and they don't want to do what you want them to do. So you require a contraption that we call a harness, and it's on their neck and back, and it's used to control their head in order to make them go where you want them to go. Sometimes we have different things to harness the power of electricity. So whether it's solar farms or wind turbines or hydro power, we're using different things to control Mother Nature to create electricity. We're harnessing different resources.
So a harness on a horse are those sort of belts and straps that you put on a horse in order to control it.
Yes.
그래서 말에다가 놓는 그 안장 말고요. 여러 가지 벨트와 스트랩들을 이렇게 딱 묶어놓는 거 있잖아요. 그렇게 해서 이제 내가 원하는 상태로 조정을 할 수 있게끔 하는 거죠. 그것도 harness지만 여기서 말하는 동사의 harness라는 것은 그래서 내가 원하는 대로 활용을 한다. 이런 의미가 있어서 the people that we mentioned, Bill Gates and the coalition of partners, they are trying to harness agentic AI. agentic AI가 조금 어렵게 들리는데 정의를 찾아봤더니 AI를 목표 달성하기 위해서 쓸 때 agentic AI라고 쓴다고요. 그러니까 단순히 그냥 정보를 주는 정도의 AI가 아니라 더 큰 목표를 달성하기 위한 AI. 일단 agentic AI라고 한다면서요?
Yeah, I think the key from my research that I could tell was that it's AI that has a little bit of autonomy.
Right.
So typically, you know, we'll, like you mentioned, we'll type in something, search this, and it gives you that result. Whereas I think with agentic AI, it's more for research where it can kind of piggyback on information that it's learned and sort of compound that information. So I'm using this information that I found to create new information and create new code and figure out things more scientifically based on the research it's doing itself.
그래요. 이렇게 이제 AI 컴피티션 경진 대회를 개최함으로써 앞으로 정말 유능한 많은 사람들이 나와서 AI를 활용해서 알츠하이머스 디지즈의 여러 가지 해법들을 정말 찾아냈으면 좋겠습니다. 자, 다시 읽어볼까요? Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates and a coalition of partners have launched a new AI competition offering a $1 million prize to a team that successfully harnesses agentic AI to develop innovative solutions for Alzheimer's disease. Now here's our final headline.
Sweden has relocated the 113-year-old Kiruna Church, one of its most famous wooden structures, about 5 kilometers to a new city center by transporting it in its entirety on a convoy of remote-controlled flatbed trailers.
스웨덴이 자국 내 유명 목조 건축물이자 지은 지 113년 된 키루나 교회를 원격 조정되는 평상형 트레일러 수송장치에 통째로 실어서 원래 위치에서 약 5km 떨어진 새 도심으로 옮겼습니다. So they just lifted a church and then moved it to a different location.
Basically.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you, I took a look at the pictures of this church. It is not a small church. It is. It looks like it'd be at least 4, maybe 5 stories tall in terms of the height. Like it's fairly large. It's 672 tons. And it probably should be heavier. It's a lot lighter because it's wood.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was concrete, then it would actually be a lot heavier than that. So, about 10,000 people, I believe, were in attendance to watch this travel at, I believe they're saying half a kilometer an hour. So it's moving very, very slowly because there were a convoy of remote-controlled flatbed trailers moving it together.
Exactly. 이 교회를 이동하는데 지금 여러 개의 납작한 이 장치들, 바퀴 달린 트레일러들을 이용했다고 했잖아요. 여기에 들어간 바퀴의 개수만 224개가 들어갔다고 합니다. 그러니까 평상에다가 바퀴 달아놨다고 생각하시면 되고 그 위에다가 이제 교회를 얹어놓은 거죠. 그러고 나서 5km를 샥 이동을 한 건데요. 신기합니다. Let's have a look at relocating.
So the base word of relocate would be locate. And we talk about, where something is located is where it is. This is the location. It's here or it's over there. So if you're relocating something, then you're moving something to a new location. This is where it was, but now it has been relocated over there.
Yeah. Is it just things that can be relocated?
I think typically, I think of physical things.
Can people be relocated?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
Your jobs can be, relocated. Absolutely. So, you can move to a new city or you could say that you've relocated in terms of your job is with a new company. So you've relocated with this company now.
그렇죠. 일 때문에 이제 이사를 해야 되는 경우 그럴 때도 I have relocated to 어디 이렇게 표현할 수 있는데요. 원래 이제 의미는 장소를 바꿨다, 이동했다 이런 의미가 되겠어요. What about in its entirety?
In its entirety, meaning everything. So not just a portion of it or half of it, but we're talking about its entire thing. And I think when they're talking about it in the article, it's not, it's when they say in its entirety, I think what they're saying is it wasn't deconstructed and then reconstructed at a new location.
Yeah.
It was all moved in one piece without being deconstructed.
And that's another great expression, in one piece.
Yes.
통째로 이렇게 조금씩 분리해서 이동한 게 아니고요. 그냥 그 교회 건물 그대로 통째로 옮긴 거죠. 그걸 영어로는 in one piece 아니면 in its entirety 이렇게 얘기를 할 수 있습니다. Alright, well here's the headline again. Sweden has relocated the 113-year-old Kiruna Church, one of its most famous wooden structures, about 5 kilometers to a new city center by transporting it in its entirety on a convoy of remote-controlled flatbed trailers. Well, that's it for the headlines with Jason 선생님.